everyone can go, yeah, the Shield's the most powerful thing or whatever they keep telling us we are. They're clearly not, because they lack one key feature, loyalty. That's a massive problem there. But yeah, anyway. Okay, let's gonna try and wrap the show up soon. Anyway, we're gonna just talk about now another. Obviously, the most controversial thing going on. Is it on? Is it off? Is it on? Is it off? We've had this for the last few weeks. Obviously, a lot of other sports have dropped out of this now. They've decided not to go with it. Investors have backed out. All the rest of it. What we're hearing now, Matt, John Cena is a no-go to this show. He's not going to be there, probably, to be honest with you. John Cena's position, Matt, it's probably makes sense for him not to get involved with this. If you're John Cena, who's trying to get into a different industry currently, he's trying to make a go of it. I feel like that's just sensible. He doesn't need to do this. He probably doesn't need that money either. The other person we're hearing about, Matt, is Daniel Bryan. I don't know how they get out of that one. Get out of that one, Perry. I haven't said that statement for a long time, but it's almost like they got to try and get out of that, because I've seen so many adverts for AJ and Daniel Bryan. And by the way, Matt, just going back to Evolution, why did WWE put an advert in for Crown Jewel? I thought, of all things, not to advertise something, what reference did that have to put that on in the middle of Evolution, something where all the females you're seeing cannot even go there to wrestle? Who on earth come up with that? And by the way, the person that did go to that show said that got huge heat, but they reckon they toned it down on the TV, on the mics, and went on to something else. But yeah, that was not a good moment, and I can't believe they even thought of doing it, let alone anything else. But Matt, in the last hour, you've sent me a bit of news about Renee Young will be there now, which is quite a big thing, I guess, as an announcer. Not a performer, obviously, but as an announcer, which I suppose is a step in the right direction. But Matt, we've spoke about this. Should they go, shouldn't they go, and the money side of it. And to be honest with you, it's one of these things, Matt, unless you're Vince McMahon, we don't really know everything. It's a very tough decision. Do I think there's going to be a big backlash for this? Absolutely. I don't think there's any way of getting out of that, quite frankly. You're gonna have that. You're gonna have backlash from this. You're gonna have those videos playing about this 2030 vision that keeps going on out there at the minute from the Prince, and he's, the whole thing is about. And yet, last time these videos got aired with women in cars, what happened? There was a big apology announcement went out by the government saying, and they took it off TV. So you wonder what is propaganda and what is not, and are WWE just being used in a lot of ways? Probably, in my opinion, they probably are. But obviously the money, Matt, is I think the underlying reason that this is happening. To be quite honest with you, I would like to say, well, sympathise with all the Saudi Arabia wrestling fans. Of course I would, but then when you hear where this is going and now they've changed the venue, you just think, well, if it's got smaller, that probably means it is really, it's like a personal garden show for the Prince. I mean, they may as well just do a show for him. And that's it, let him pay for what he wants. He wants to see all the 90s wrestlers, bring them all out, but I'd be more comfortable with this, Matt, if they have to do this, if they're going to win, well, they are going to Saudi Arabia. My thing to this, Matt, I'd be more comfortable if they did this, and I think the only way they could have toned this down better is, for instance, Matt, over in this country, Sky Box Office, they are selling it as a pay-per-view. You've got to pay 20 quid for this. I'm not comfortable with WWE doing that, given what's going on out there, and until we really cleared everything up. I don't think that's great that people are paying this as a pay-per-view and it's, being broadcast the way it is. Quite frankly, that's just my take on it. Now, if WWE did this as a kind of house show, so be it. We're not going to hear about, we're not going to see images and all the rest of it. But they are going there, and they're going there all guns blazing. And they are on pay-per-views. I'm not saying people, by the way, get a subscription. Do not be paying £20, even if you just sign up for free. Okay, little bit of promotion there for WWE Network. But that doesn't sit well with me for this one at the moment. And I know there's a lot of ins and outs. What about so Matt? Let me hand it over to you because I think I've gone on enough here. But what do you think at this moment, Matt? Was you surprised that WWE made the decision to go after all this? And what kind of backlash will there be, and how severe will it be?
I'm not really surprised that they went with this and kept the venue where it is, and kept all plans as they were, because that's kind of all Vince's style, really, isn't it? If he's advertised something, come hell or high water, he's going to deliver on what he's promised, and that's what he has promised. And we all know there's a lot of money involved. In fact, a huge amount of money involved in this.
Mm-hmm.
So, also on a business standpoint, it's something you don't really want to turn your back on. And I know a lot of people will look down on that because where the money is coming from, people will question that. But if you just really look at it on a purely fan basis, I know it's hard to do that. I mean, it's like blaming a whole. If you look at any other sport, like a team, for their manager's actions, you can't really blame the players or the team. It's just all the stuff that goes on behind the scenes. If you've paid your $9.99 for the network, most of us have at this point, so it's something you're getting on there, almost part of like your monthly subscription. For what you probably wouldn't have had this beforehand. This deal wasn't always on the cards. It's only recent this Saudi Arabia deal has come about, so it wasn't always like something we can take for granted, like a Survivor Series or a SummerSlam. It's almost an additional. So the option is there to watch it, and like you said earlier in the podcast, if you don't support it, don't watch it.
Yeah.
But if you want to see the wrestlers, and you're looking at on a smaller scale, on the individuals that are going there, if you're looking at the people, particularly the hard workers that don't get much credit for what they're doing. People like Rey Mysterio that's coming back, and Jeff Hardy is there, Kurt Angle as well coming back into his in-ring. Looking at it from a man-to-man basis, you just want to see your favourite wrestlers and tune in. But if you want to make a political stand, then don't watch it.
Yeah, and everyone is entitled to their opinion about this, of course. Matt's right. It is what it is, and Vince does promise. I thought, to be honest with you, keep the show. I'd never thought about getting rid of the show, but maybe just change the location just for this once until it's all cleared up. That was my only thing to this. I think I was expecting them to do that, but they are going with it. I just hope, and hope is a big word here, that they don't kind of go into that whole, what we saw on Evolution in a way, where they spring off to these interviews and they show these videos and how everything's wonderful there, because when you get roped into that is where there will be backlash in the media from the US and all over the world when they start to see, if some of the wrestlers get roped into doing interviews about how great everything is, and in the current state and climate, that is going to get huge backlash. If WWE go there and just put on a wrestling show and don't get involved in any of that, fine. They'll still get backlash, believe me. But if they go there and then add that on top of it, that is where they're going to be in problems, because those videos, those things, they'll get played everywhere around all these news sites. They'll pick up things like that and they'll be quoted on it. And then, you never know what happens further down the line. Does it get worse? Does more come out? And then you've got to answer for more. So I do feel like they have to be sensible. They have to be tactful with this. Like, I hope that they are going to have that. Now, Matt, we do know, of course, it's brought Shawn Michaels out of retirement, hasn't it? What have you made of this tag match, Matt? Because I've got to say to you, and I never thought I'd say this about Four Legends, but I'm not even that excited for this. I really aren't. It is like watching, Triple H and Shawn Michaels, it is like watching two dads coming back, and it's like, why they are ruining. I think it's the whole DX thing. I'm like, why are they doing DX at the moment? Like, it's just reminding me of what it was and where they're at now. Two kind of bald-headed men. You know, it just I don't know. I really, is this what Shawn Michaels coming out of retirement? I thought I would have been like, yes, the main thing. And you think of all the times he's had offers before. We thought it was with AJ. But he's coming back for this. He's coming back for a huge payday, obviously, and good for him. But like this feud, Matt, and then even the Undertaker and Kane, those segments on Raw have been awful. I mean, I don't know who the hell is scripting the Undertaker to be saying those things. They're so bad. I cannot get into it. There's no believability. There is no reason this should be happening at all, other than a nostalgia. And maybe it's because the Prince wants to see this. Maybe that is what it is. But to me, it's awful. And I just hope that it's better than what I think it's going to be, because at the minute I'm just lost for words. I thought this should be something I'm really heavily into, but this has just been an absolute, I don't know, it's a bit embarrassing sometimes to watch this whole thing. And why is it that all these four guys, they're at the age they're at, but instead of sort of like, I don't know, wouldn't it have been better if they would have sort of mixed them up against current roster guys rather than being all clustered together like this? It just seems even worse. I mean, the combined age of this lot is over 200. This is where we're at now. Is this where we're at with professional wrestling, that we need these guys? But it is incredible. What do you think, Matt, about it, and what have you made of this weird feud going into this?
Oh, again, it's another difficult one, because I'm surprised they've managed to actually find a match between these kind of four guys that hasn't been done. Apparently, this is the first time DX has gone into a tag team match against the Brothers of Destruction. Mm-hmm. Well, that's what they're telling us anyway. I mean, I haven't exactly looked through the whole WWE network trying to find out whether that's the truth or not, but I'll just take their word for that at the moment. Just agree with them and go, yeah. So that is okay. Quite surprising to me. That happened before. But on the other hand, it does kind of make storyline sense that Shawn Michaels would come out of retirement to battle the person that put him in retirement. I mean, he did say he'd only come back in a feud that actually makes sense. So maybe Undertaker is one of the only guys that could work for, and it is a gateway to come back and have other matches, because once you got over the first hurdle, having your first match, it does kind of open up opportunities that now the fans don't think that you're someone that goes back on their word, even though you did, and you might as well be honest about it. You did it for the money, for Triple H or any other real reason. There's still no real reason why he's come back. They might as well just be honest this one and just say it is for the money. We're in a crazy time. Like I said, over 200. I can't believe that. If you was looking at it sensibly, this is why the average age of the WWE fan is like an aging sort of fan base. Like it's 30s now, the average fan. And that's probably because they don't really look to the future. For me, someone against, like, say, DX, if they were going to come back, I'd be looking at a group like Undisputed Era. I mean, those guys down at NXT doing good work there, and they're young and up and coming, and they've got that kind of new kind of fan base with them. And if they can come up against someone like DX and get a win on them, it would skyrocket their kind of credibility within the company. Well, we'll see how it goes. The other course is the big change. Of course, now we've got a vacant Universal Championship. Plans would have been changed an awful lot, I would imagine, Matt. I think we would have expected Roman to have got through that, and I'm sure Braun would have been the one that was pinned out of the three. Now they've got the situation now, Matt, where it's all hands on deck again. Now I bet they wish they'd have been a little bit more patient with Braun and that whole Money in the Bank business, but it's a shame that's not available anymore. But
what we've got now, Matt. I mean, where did WWE go? Did they go with Braun Strowman? I mean, I've got to say, what a mess he's been in the last couple of months with swapping him back again. And